Police aren't sure whether he's stealing the items to have fun or to cash in. But either way, detectives tell me his crime spree will end, and it won't be with a perfect touchdown.
It's inside this gigantic room where some of Tulsa's earliest infrastructure was built back in the early 1900s. The hope is that once this thing is fixed up, they can find people to not only live here, but they also want people to work here on the next generation of innovation and discoveries, making sure that Tulsa stays on top of the game when it comes to the next generation of infrastructure and other industries. The vision plan isn't just about water in the river, it's about living with water in the river, and that's why a place like this can be turned into a place like this, where people can shop on the bottom and live on the top and enjoy the river view either way.
Let me show you what he's talking about. First, you get in your car and then you turn on your radio. Tune it to the proper station. Now you can get back out. And the music is in sync with the lights.
In years past, they ran the refrigeration lines up and down this 152-foot long rink. But our Oklahoma weather has them rethinking that. Instead of running the pipe long ways, they're turning it. This year, the pipe will only have to run 52 feet.
Hey, Clay, I'm in the back of the pickup truck. Police called him in. You can see some of the mess he still left behind, some dimes and pennies and quarters and things like that. And you can see some of the remnants of the pepper spray down there. Now, this is also a sandball that they sprayed at him as well.
They went up to the truck with these shields, hoping that he would just surrender. When that didn't happen, they had to use 3 other tools to get him into custody.
The machine itself isn't illegal. It could be used for a video game. But in this case, the chief says the problem here is the exchange of money, which turns the machine into gambling, which is illegal in the state.
When you walk up to the house, you trip a sensor that automatically starts a camera. And we spotted this sign on the garage warning any intruder that there's nothing left inside. Sergeant Watkins says that's when another suspect came around and started pepper spraying the victim.
The Broken Arrow vision plan was pretty clean cut from the get-go. Aside from a small part that would go back to Tulsa County, half of it would go to streets and the other half goes to public safety.
The store shut down 2 weeks ago after police raided it. I've found now that there are boards up, and it seems as though the lights, they're off for good.
After each of the earthquakes, this is what inspectors are looking for. They want to see a good straight line. There's no evidence on this bridge that it's dropped or moved to the left or to the right. In fact, with hundreds of earthquakes in the last few years, they've only found one bridge with problems because of the earthquakes. It was in Prague, and that was minor. Just $1,000 worth of damage.
I found out on Friday about 30 dogs are going to be loaded up into this van and taken to Minneapolis. Organizers tell me this little girl, Abby, is on the list to make the trip.
We've been out here since almost 3:30 this afternoon. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see the progress. The pole is still hanging over the convenience store, but you can see crews are busy making repairs, and there is a brand new pole in place. These repairs are very similar to what is taking place all over Green Country tonight.
Police say it all started right here when the kid actually crashed the stolen SUV into this now mangled fence. You can see pieces of the car remain as well.
Deputies tell me when a sex offender needs to register in Muskogee County, they come here to this office, and it's here that they have their fingerprints taken, a criminal background check ran to make sure they're not wanted in any other state.
It has taken a lot of work to get this ground ready for the project. I want to show you what I'm talking about. You can see crews hard at work out here. Since June, I found out that they have moved more than 60,000 cubic yards of rock and dirt. Those students know what they're doing on the field, but when you try to get those teams singing and dancing all at the same time, that's when it gets difficult.
The city only uses salt on the roads. McCorkle tells me they budgeted to use about 12,000 tons this year, much of it stored in that building behind me. He says as winter goes on, they can order more if needed. Reporting in West Tulsa, covering news that matters, Michelle Lynn, Fox 23 News.